שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, תודה בורא עולם.
Shalom, everyone. Anochi Rabba Chatumayad de Baboraz. I am the Chief Magician of Mystery Babylon, and welcome to my holy channel. So, before I get into the essence of the matter, I just want to briefly speak here for less than a minute on the whole Anthony and his lapdog situation. So, I wanted to let everyone know that, deep down inside, I do care for his lapdog, and I have been praying for him that, his eyes are opened to truly see the very inferior and evil character of Anthony, and that I truly believe that Yura has performed black magic and has cast a very evil spell over him, and I have also prayed for that spell to be broken, and I'm going to continue to be in prayer over this matter. And I wanted to reach out to all of my very close, loyal listeners and followers, and I would request and ask of all of you to also join me in praying for for Anthony's lapdog, and for his eyes to be open, for him to do teshuva, and to truly see the inferior and evil character of Anthony. So I ask and that all of you join me in praying this, and I think that we can do a really huge tikkun here, if our prayers are answered. And I'm gonna walk in hope and faith that my prayers are answered, because then part of my prayer is also that when his eyes are open, that he will then reach out to me so that we can do a further expose of Anthony. And I think this will be very powerful in a big tikkun. So let's see what happens there. Okay, so with that said, let's get into the essence of the matter for this video. So in this video, I want to reveal some of the most sublime arcana regarding the 231 gates, the tree of life, and one of the highest and greatest mysteries and secrets regarding Yeshu HaMashiach. So, as you all know, there's this very mystical, very crazy, strange ritual that Yeshu commands all his followers to do, which is the mystery of the Eucharist, or what's known as the Eucharist, in drinking the blood and eating the flesh of the Son of Man, or the Mashiach. And there's actually a lot of really powerful, super sublime mysteries regarding this. Some of these mysteries are recorded and revealed in my very esoteric commentary, my very esoteric Gnostic Kabbalistic commentary to the Gospel of Yochanan. The Gospel of Yochanan in the New Testament is probably the highest and greatest books of the entire New Testament, right next to the book of Revelation. It is the most Gnostic book in the entire New Testament, hands down. And I've written the most revelatory, most powerful, most esoteric commentary, revealing the highest of arcana in this book that I've recently published. It's completely in Hebrew and Aramaic, so it's really geared towards my followers and disciples in Israel who are fluent in Hebrew and Aramaic. But let's get into the essence of the matter here. So, if we look at the Hebrew phrase, which I have up here on the slide. So you look at the Hebrew there, that Hebrew phrase, the English translation of that is to drink the blood and to eat the flesh of the Son of Man. And it's very interesting that if you take the ordinal gematria of that Hebrew phrase, which Yeshu spoke, it has an ordinal gematria of 233, which happens to be the standard normal gematria of Eitz Chachaim, which is the tree of life. And so this is very powerful because this is how we are able to connect the tree of life to the Mashiach, to Yeshu, and to this very powerful, very, very telistic ritual of drinking the blood and eating the flesh of the Mashiach, or the Son of Man. And so by engaging in this very telistic or mystical ritual, this is what then connects us to the tree of life. And so what this then means is that quintessentially the Mashiach is quintessentially the mystery of the tree of life, right? Because if this Hebrew phrase here is equal to the tree of life, and if eating the blood and the flesh of the Mashiach is linked to the tree of life, then it just logically, obviously follows that the Mashiach is the tree of life, and that by eating of him, this means that we are essentially eating of the tree of life. And there's nothing more powerful, right, than eating from the tree of life, because this is what grants us eternal salvation. So this is very, very, very powerful, very Kabbalistic here. And believe me, there are it's very important to understand that the Arcana that I'm going to be reviewing in this very short video are just the tip of the iceberg. The levels just go so much crazier, more wild, more deep. It's just beyond crazy. But I'm not allowed to reveal the much higher Arcana that, ascend from these very secrets that I'm revealing here. So let's move on to the next slide. So very interestingly, if we now change the phrasing, okay, so the Hebrew phrase now that I have up on the screen is, you shall drink the blood and you shall eat the flesh of the Son of Man. So the Hebrew, the English translation of the Hebrew on the screen is, you shall drink the blood and you shall eat the flesh of the Son of Man. I forgot to put the you shall eat there. I forgot to put the you shall there, but it should be, you shall drink the blood and you shall eat the flesh of the Son of Man. The ordinal gematria of this phrase is 231. So it's very, very interesting, right? If we take the general phrase, when we use the infinitive, so when we utilize the infinitive for a general phrasing, this yields tree of life, right? The tree of life, telling us that the tree of life is a very universal general matter here. But when we personalize the phrase with respect to each one of us, the phrase is then equal to 231 in the mystery of the 231 gates. Now, one of the highest secrets that isn't even really known by really any of the Kabbalists. This is one of the highest secrets, and I revealed this this great secret for the first time in a video that I did together with Anthony some time ago. But essentially, right, the very ancient esoteric Kabbalah and the ancient Gnostics taught that when Sophia sinned, this was a very powerful universal event that occurred. And when it occurred, what happened is, as an after effect, is that all the neshamot, all the nefeshot, they all fell into the klipot, which is the mystery of the 231 gates. The highest arcanum that has never really been known by any of the Kabbalists in the past is that the mystery of the 231 gates is quintessentially the mystery of the klipot. Okay, that's what it is. And so all of the neshamot and all of the nefashot fell into the klipot, which are the 231 gates. Okay, quintessentially and by definition, the highest and greatest arcanum of the 231 gates is that they are entirely klipothic. It's all klipot. So because of that, right, we have to understand then, when we have this very advanced understanding that is revealed and taught in the Lurianic Kabbalah, this then means that all of us, all of humanity, quintessentially is rooted in the 231 gates and the klipot. Okay, and that's the essence of our evil inclination. Okay, that's why we have an evil inclination. And so This is why then this phrase, "you shall drink the blood and you shall eat the flesh of the Son of Man," is equated to the 231 gates. It doesn't mean what we have to understand that gematria is a very complex, advanced science and art. Okay, and so on this basis, what we have here is an antithetical equation, meaning that by drinking the blood and eating the flesh of the Son of Man, or the Mashiach, this is the antithesis to the 231 gates and to the Qliphoth. Okay, so what we have is two polar equations here. Okay, and so this then is the mystery, right? The antidote, the elixir to the 231 gates and the Qliphoth, is to drink the blood and eat the flesh of the Son of Man and the Mashiach. Now, it's very interesting too, that the gematria of Eitz Chachaim is 233. Okay, and then we have the 231 gates. Now, duly note that the gematria of Eitz Chachaim 233 is just 2 units above 231. All that separates Eitz Chachaim, which is 233, from the 231 gates, is the number 2. And there's just a tremendous amount of powerful mysteries behind this notable difference that I can't get into in this video. It's very esoteric. But understand, as I'm going to constantly be repeating in this video, is that what I'm revealing here is just the very tip of the iceberg. The mysteries in Arcana just ascend so much higher. Now, one last mystery that I will reveal. Maybe I might reveal one more mystery. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking about it as I'm revelating here. That when we, the Hebrew phrase that you see on the screen right now, the English translation of the Hebrew phrase on the screen is, "Satan fell from heaven like lightning." And this is a very powerful teaching of Yeshua. This is one of the very powerful teachings of Yeshua in the New Testament, where he says that Satan fell from heaven like lightning. It's very interesting that when you take the ordinal gematria of this phrase, it is 231, thus linking Satan to the 231 gates. And this is a very, very sublime arcanum that is fully revealed in my book, Divine Revelations from the Holy Samael. So I'm not going to give the full revelation to this, but understand that this is one of the highest seals, indicating that Satan is rooted and that his origin is indeed in the 231 gates. There's more mysteries. There are so much more sublime mysteries that I would like to reveal, but I believe I'm not allowed to. But man, do I wish I could reveal some of the mysteries that I want to reveal, because they are so ridiculously mind-blowing. And I hope that many of you are already beyond mind-blown with what I have revealed here in this very short video. I wish I could reveal more, because this is just the tip, what I've revealed here. But that's going to be all for today. Shalom, Salah.